Welcome to another episode of CrossTalk. My name is Kevin Tocci, and I will be your host for the next 30 minutes. Now, this program, recently we've had a lot of folks, whether it's community-based stuff or it's a political time of year, but we're going to do something fun. There's an upcoming show. It's going to be taking place at Massasoit Community College. Whether you know it or not, it's actually the 75th anniversary of the film Wizard of Oz, and we actually have some folks here who are going to talk to us about this fantastic show that's going to be going up in just a few weeks. Starting from left to right, we have Kels Ferguson, also known as Kelly Ferguson. She's playing the role of Dorothy. And we have Corrine Mason, who is not only the director, but she is the choreographer.
Yes.
And as dance captain and ensemble, we have Julie Grant.
Hello, Kevin.
Ladies, welcome to CrossTalk.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here to talk about this fantastic show. I guess we'll first start with Corrine. And yeah, I mean, you're the lady who is pulling this all together. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, talk to us about this being not your first directing episode, but the first time that you're actually directing at Massasoit Community College in such a big program as Wizard of Oz.
Absolutely. It is my first time directing at Massasoit, but this is also my first time directing such a large cast. Normally I work with casts from 2 people to about like 10 or 15 maybe, but we are up in the 30s. I think we have close to 36 people in our cast, adult cast, and then we also have about 115 munchkins that we're collaborating with from the Mary E. Baker School in Brockton, which is very exciting. So going into a project like this, I think I personally might have been a little bit overwhelmed at first, because Wizard of Oz is huge and it's iconic and everybody associates their childhood memories with it. But from the very first callback, actually, we sort of realized that we had a special group of people on our hands, and the 36 people that we ended up casting in the show are the most fun, collaborative, and exciting people. Everybody really loves each other. They love being there. They love working with each other and creating. So it's been almost an easy process, which sounds funny when you think of the Wizard of Oz. Like, you don't think easy, you think huge, but it's been really great.
Tell us a little bit about yourself as far as on stage or being a director of shows and stuff like that. Tease us a little bit about your bio.
Oh, my bio. I started performing when I was about 14 years old, and I thought I wanted to be an actress. And so I went off to New York and went to a conservatory, and I did some work while I was there, and then somebody asked me to teach a class and to sub in. And I taught this class, a musical theater workshop, and it sort of changed my life. And I realized that I love the process way more than the product. And I get really excited about the actual creating and not just worrying about what the end is. Sure. And so I shifted my whole career to teaching theater and directing and choreographing theater.
Wow.
So I've been doing it for about 6 years now.
Excellent.
Which is great.
Now, give us a little bit of a bio on you, Kelly.
God.
Just a little bit.
I do. I've done a number of shows with Massasoit. I've done You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, Nonsense. I've done that in a couple of different places. I've done Anything Goes. I've done big shows. I've done small shows. I don't consider myself an actor. I consider myself a musician. I went to Berklee College of Music as a trumpet player, so it's totally not any of this. And
Girl can sing, though.
She has pipes.
Apparently I can sing.
She has pipes. Well, you've won community auditions a couple of times.
I have. I was the star of the day 4 times in a row.
Nice.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've got these cute little star statues that are on my bureau. Just like, oh. That was a really great experience. And
She sang the anthem at a rodeo that I went to once and was amazing. I cried.
Really?
Because her performance was
I do the national anthem. July is probably one of my busiest seasons.
Really?
Yeah, because
my first coming across Kelly as far as singing, I think it was one time at karaoke
Oh, it might have been.
How lucky for
It's
you.
raining men. And like, this big voice coming out of the other room. I'm like, oh, I know that person. And seeing her on stage, you know, for Annie and other
Oh, that's right,
productions.
Annie.
Oh, Annie.
And it's funny, I've been backstage more than I've been on stage. I usually do lighting and set production and stage management and all that kind of stuff. And I really like doing that stuff. And, you know, it's a process for me, too. I like creating. And so, yeah.
Well, what about the role of Dorothy? I mean,
That was a complete shock. that was, oh, I haven't, you know, I need to get out of my house and do more outgoing things because I'd become a bit quiet and recluse in my old age.
okay.
She's not old.
I'm not
Like
old.
20-something.
Not reckless either.
And but I hadn't been on stage in about a decade. So the stars had aligned and I knew most of the crew. So I was like, oh, you know, I'll audition expecting that I was going to get, you know, tree number 3 or Ozzy and number 5 and ended up getting Dorothy, which I was super excited about.
And you get some really cool shoes, too, right?
And I get amazing shoes.
How do you go wrong? Speaking of your shoes and dancing, we have Julie Grant. Give us a little bio on you, Julie.
Well, I started dancing at Dance Delight in Brockton when I was 3. I have continued to dance. I started musical theater. I did a little bit in junior high and college, but I really started in 2005. I was 29 and I got the role of Sheila in a chorus line. And I haven't left the theater since. Pretty much at least twice a year I'm pretty much putting on a show, and usually ensemble. Sheila was the only role that I played a major role, but I enjoy just being a part of anything on the stage.
There's nothing wrong as long as you're part of the show.
It's fun, it's social.
Somewhere. I can honestly say that I'm guilty being associated with Kelly, where I had 4 little small roles in Annie, and it was even cast as a female role in, it was actually it was Perkins. We had this conversation.
Yep.
I was Perkins. I had to stand up tomorrow. You know, you had to sing the whole thing, and someone told me, actually the guy who did sound for Massasoit goes, I always thought Perkins was a woman. I'm like, well, not for this show. But it's cool to be able to be a part of the show. So I can identify. So talk to me about being a part of this. You're actually more than just ensemble, right?
Well, dance captain, which is awesome. It's the first time anyone's ever offered that me officially. I've always loved helping people if they need a little help backstage or, you know, at rehearsals, if they need extra help with dance. I'm always willing to help. So it's nice to have that official label.
But that's not the only, I mean, you have something that you do outside of the theater. You have a little something as far as...
Dance to Save, yes, of course. Thank you for leading into that. It's what I'm very passionate about. It's an organization that was created to give dancers an outlet to perform while raising money for different charities in our area, which is very nice.
Awesome.
So that's something I do year-round.
Awesome. Well, I have to, you know, talk to me about these 2 young ladies that you have here and maybe some of the other stars that you've had the pleasure of working with over the past couple of weeks.
Definitely. These 2 ladies are unusually humble. So I will just brag about them forever and ever.
I won't stop you.
Oh,
I know,
no,
right?
don't try. You can't stop me. Kels came in to sing, and as a director, you see a lot of people. You see a lot of people in your time, but she walked in the door and very unassuming, you know, she's this cute little girl, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. I'd never met her, knew nothing about her, and when she opened her mouth to sing, I just heard Judy. And that was it. I just heard Judy and I was like, done. It just,
In the 80 or so people that auditioned that, well, there weren't 80 people that could hear her, but all the people that were lined up in the hallway that could hear her all came out talking about her and how wonderful she was.
Yep. She really,
was quite the
really
buzz.
does embody the sort of the classic quality of Judy Garland, vocally and also spiritually, when she's like on stage, and she's working hard on it, especially now in the rehearsal process. But there was never a doubt in my mind for that. And then we offered Julie dance captain ahead of time because Julie is consistent, Julie is reliable, and she's energetic and a really strong leader. So especially with the show this large, I'm doing so many different jobs dance that there was no way I was going to be able to do it all myself.
Delegate.
Yeah, and so dance captain is a huge part of making this show happen. And so I teach the choreography originally, and I stage it, but Julie cleans it, Julie drills it, she makes sure that everyone is doing what they're supposed to be doing, and then when something's not working, she says, hey, Corrine, this isn't working, how are we gonna fix it? So it's been a great process with the both of them. And the rest of the cast is also outstanding.
Unreal,
Julie calls them the Fab Four, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Lion, and Dorothy. They all have this old soul quality about
Very
them.
much so.
So they're all young. They're all, in their 20s. And I think the youngest one is Alex. He might be 19, who plays the Lion. Alex
You would
Haggerty.
never know he was 19.
You would never know. They evade this sort of old school, old-fashioned vaudevillian
Dated.
quality about them, which is what you want in leads. And then the ensemble is so hardworking, and they're all stars in their own right. So when you put that many talented people on stage together, you can't go wrong. So it's not like tree number 3 is the weak link. No, tree number 3 can tap beyond belief. These trees, they're these tapping trees, and they all have their own sort of star quality to add to the show, which makes it very special and different.
Talk to me about being a part of Wizard of Oz. Is something that we've all watched on TV 100 of times, and what it's like to be a part of it. You're a part of it, and what you're witnessing.
Not only am I proud to be a part of the show because of the feelings I have for the movie growing up, but also, like Corrine said, the talent is so great on the stage that it's, I feel blessed being a part of it. I feel like it's kind of a bragging right, like I was in the Wizard of Oz, that's what I'll be able to say. Yeah, and everything is so visually pleasing, and all the different types of people that were cast in the show as well, like ages, and it's just so different and varied. And so everybody brings different things to the stage.
What do you think of that? I mean, you've got the biggest part of the pie here as far as being Dorothy. I mean, you're kind of the center of attention.
No pressure or anything.
I'm just saying, though. It's significant. How does it feel from what these two ladies have said in regards, especially as far as when you auditioned and you walked? I mean, if I saw you walking in, you would have been an odds-on favorite. Depending on who else was there,
right?
I can think of maybe 3 or 4 other people in the area who might have had it, but you would have been right up there.
I've wanted to be Dorothy since I was 5. So like I had said, this was one of those moments where the stars had aligned in the right way. Our music director Janice Iser-Wright is amazing, and I've worked with her on a couple of different projects, and she was coming up from North Carolina to do this show. And I said, okay, well, I want to work with her, and it's the Wizard of Oz. Like,
how do you go wrong?
And I remember at callbacks being out back with you, having a discussion going, I originally had put Dorothy or nothing. And I looked at Corrine and went, you know what? I've already gone through this whole audition process. Dorothy or whatever. I just wanted to be a part of it. Now, granted, I didn't expect to get the phone call saying, like, we want you back as Dorothy. I wasn't expecting that at all, mainly because I'd been out of the loop for so long. And then coming into this and being part of this just once-in-a-lifetime cast. I don't think I've ever met a group of people who have ever been so open and warm and friendly to each other, no matter what role they are. Our trees hang out with the Tin Man, and everybody is cool with everybody, and everybody is so
And it's
so
not always
nice.
like that with some shows.
No, it's not what I remember.
Every show has its own personality, if you know anything about theater.
Yeah, I had left theater because of my personality. Like, I saw myself as a musician. I didn't see myself as an actor or a dancer or anything like that. I saw myself as, the trumpet player or the singer. I was always in the chorus. I was never a dancer or anything like that. And the attitudes were very different a decade ago. The attitudes were very, this is my this is my time to shine, and I don't care
Oh, I know.
what I say to other people.
And that done that. I've seen a few shows like that.
Right, and that's what I remembered, and coming into this and meeting this whole new, I don't know any of the cast when I first, stepped foot into the theater, and they are all so stunning. They're super talented and just amazing, amazing people.
Just oozing it, huh?
Yeah,
It's ironic to hear Dorothy talk about us being so talented. It's ironic. And those of us that live in the area and people that have done theater in the area, when you look at all the names that are attached to this show, it's
like an all-star cast.
It is.
It
It's an
really
all-star
is.
cast.
It really is.
And I got to say, myself, from someone who watches from afar, and I know most of the players who are in the show, and I follow on Facebook, to see each, whether it was Jules, and I'm not friends with you on Facebook.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Not yet. But to see the different folks who are in the show, they were all waiting. Go, oh, I can't wait. I hope I get this part. And to see, especially seeing Kel's and see Jules being like, I'm ensemble. I'm cool with that. It was a very cool thing to kind of see as the folks were finding out what they were going to be, and as it was starting to slowly come together.
I didn't
It
even
definitely
announce it. I just changed my profile picture to Judy Garland.
I gave it away.
Remember the weeks leading up to the audition, though? She was really nervous.
Yeah.
And she really was humble and really...
I actually...
It's not like she knew she was going to get it. She wanted it, but she was definitely humble and insecure about it, which was just so
I
ironic
made the
because we all
decision
knew
2
how
hours
wonderful
before.
she was.
2 hours before the actual audition is when I decided I was going to go and audition. And because
Really?
I had been debating it for 2 or 3 weeks, and finally I looked at my mother and went, should I do this? And she was like, well, why not? Go for it. Like, who cares?
Yay, Mom.
So, yay, Mom. Thank my mother. Thanks, Mom.
We're
She
gonna,
didn't just get it though either. She fought for it too.
did.
There are a lot of other people that were just as talented. I mean, and they're all in the cast too. So when you see them, they're shining up there. But she fought for it.
Like my
so.
understudy. My understudy can dance circles around me, and she's an amazing, amazing human being. Her name's Athena. She's phenomenal. She's just phenomenal, and I worship everything she does.
so I have to ask you if we could play a little game. We actually have some pictures that we took out of Corinne's camera.
Yes.
And we're going to pop up, if you will watch the monitor. Paul, if you will, put up picture one.
Up.
What do we got going on here? Is this the other side of Corinne kind of getting things ready? Is this picture one that we have up right now, Paul? It looks like picture 6. I could be guessing here.
Looks like surprise.
It looks like let's try for picture 1.
Julie, what are you doing?
Julia, I don't know what Julie's doing. But what we're gonna do, why don't we try putting picture 1 up once again, if you will.
Oh, she needs her glasses. That's what it is. She can't
Normally
see
during
it.
a taping of a show, we never see a body pass in front of the camera.
Well, I think
There's
you guys
a
would look at
first
the
time.
monitor. It was okay. But my alarm was going off on my phone.
Oh no.
It's all good. Now, I believe this is actually picture number 1.
That's my favorite picture.
If you could, Corinne, what exactly is this?
This is a picture of me reading from the original Frank Albaum book, The Wizard of Oz, reading to the characters. And the actors up there, you can see Craig O'Connor on the left. He plays Uncle Henry in The Guard.
Okay.
Then Sherry Malone is right next to him. She plays Auntie M. And then Chris Spencer, who's the Scarecrow. Nick Paradiso, who's the Tin Man. Alex, who's the Lion. And then Kells, who is Dorothy. And I'm reading about the original sort of atmosphere in Kansas and how gray and dark it was to sort of help them connect with the characters in different ways, because even though the movie is wonderful,
Right.
you still want the backstory.
Let's see picture number 2, Paul. What's going on here, Kel?
This is Merry Old Land of Oz. So this is when the Fab Four first end up in Emerald City, and they're learning about how wonderful and fantastic it is, and how beautiful and perfect, and everything is just so downright right in it. I hate that line, but I think it's hysterical at the same time.
Okay.
There's actually a funny story here. I'm sitting on Chris's knee, and the first time that we rehearsed this, and I told him I'll never let him live it down, he dropped me. I ended up like splayed on the floor,
Very interesting.
laughing, but
But you're okay.
I am perfectly fine.
Okay. Let's see number 3.
Oh my gosh, that's an awful picture.
Selfie, get in there. What is this? Did you just happen to pick up the
Listen,
camera?
I
and go-
take plenty of selfies. If a selfie is what you wanted, Instagram is open all day. That was not the one to pick.
So this isn't like you getting ready to go 5, 6, 7, 8.
I don't know what I was thinking, but it was definitely with confidence, that's for sure.
It was. You're smiling, and that's all that counts. Let's go to picture number 4.
Aww.
Now, what do we got going on now? This is the choreography side of things, I would take it?
This is me at the Mary Baker School with the Munchkins, actually working with them. The collaboration, which is great. And there's Mrs., I guess, but the mayor of Munchkinland is in that photo. Okay. And we were doing a little bit of scene work and choreography in this particular picture. But I loved working with the kids. They were so cute and energetic and fun. And I think you can see it in this picture. Like, most of them are smiling.
Okay. Let's go with picture number 5.
Oh, no.
What is this?
You want to talk about horrible pictures, Julie? This is actually also Merry Old Land of Oz.
Okay.
This is when we've gone through our transformation, I think, at this point, where they, restuff the scarecrow and they shine up the Tin Man and they give the lion his permanent just for the occasion, and Dorothy gets her hair did. And yeah, we get rolled out on these chairs, on these beautician's chairs.
Okay.
And we're singing to each other, and this is the ensemble singing moment.
Yes.
Okay. And then picture number 6. Now, I know there's not a picture of Julie in here, but I believe that this is just more of the dancing that's going on. Is that correct, Jules?
Yes.
Okay.
I would hope so.
I will say, if there's one person that we throw under the bus, the producer helped us pick some of the pictures, and these were some of the ones that he had shared with us.
Oh, Mark.
Good old
including
Mark Rochedale.
Yes, we love Mark.
He took pictures at rehearsal too,
Yeah, that's so.
I do love Mark.
To be totally honest, I'm wearing the same shirt the whole time. I think that was the same day. All those photos were taken on the same day.
They are, actually, yeah.
Well, before we did the show, he actually sprung it upon me to have us throw some pictures in. So I just want to make sure if I'm going to take the bullet, I'm not taking it wrong.
Oh, they're not that bad.
No,
These girls are being harsh.
Let's talk more about community theater and the importance of it. While it's, folks might want to go to Boston to see a show, it's probably the best show you can see put on by folks from your area. Am I correct, Jules?
Definitely. I mean, sure, you could go to Boston and
pay big money.
A ton, not just for your tickets, but for parking and for drinks and dinner before or afterwards.
Correct.
I will say, though, in 2005, Massasoit did a chorus line. Was way better than what I saw at other theaters. I won't say Boston, but maybe another big city like Providence. I don't know. So I think you'd be silly to pass over this show. If you want to see The Wizard of Oz, you should come to this production.
I had just moved home from Florida in 2005 after working for Disney. And I went and saw a chorus line.
I saw a chorus line.
It
was fantastic.
Blown away, just blown away. And then right after that, a couple of years later, we did Dreamgirls, and I was on.
And that was I think, I think the movie came out at the same time.
Yeah, and they only allowed 3 theaters in the country to do that show, and they won like 5 EMAC awards.
Yeah,
something crazy like that. I mean, that show was unreal good. And I was on the crew. I wasn't even, I was there for 2 weeks. And, Tech Week and following. I was part of it.
And that's a hell of a segue, because there's some fantastic people that are behind the scenes. Am I correct, Corrine?
There are.
Amazing people.
You act surprised.
Oh, no, there are. I'm just wondering who you're talking about specifically.
Pick and choose.
Okay. I will just gush again. I love to gush. I'm all about it. This particular staff, the collaboration of this staff and the production team is just as good as anything that you would find, I think, in Boston or in a professional theater company. We have Nathan Fogg, who is our set designer, and he has designed something spectacular and huge, gorgeous. Jen Spagone, who is our costume designer. Everything that comes out of her brain is just creative and innovative. Brian Willis, who is doing our set construction, and he builds everything from scratch.
I trust everything he builds.
It's so phenomenal.
To life. Yeah, he did to scale. He really puts that realism in.
He taught me how to put in my first pair of French doors.
He's great. Everything is safe, and he's a problem solver. So anytime I have a question, because I don't do tech theater, hello. Anytime I have a question, he just makes it sound like anything is possible, and so everything is possible for this show. And then Michael Watson is our lighting designer, and Janice Iserwright, our music director. And Janice is this aggressive spitfire of a woman that just creates such a fun environment, and she's hard in a good way. So they sound unreal. So we have quite the team. Mark Rocheteau, our producer, too, you know.
He's
Love
all
him,
right.
too. He keeps it all together.
Corrine doesn't want to brag about herself, but she's done a fabulous job being both roles of director and choreographer.
It's tough.
It must be tough, but she's so detailed and descriptive. It's very clear to understand what she's looking for.
I've worked on and been in enough shows to be able to appreciate exactly what you've given us, because what you give us is far more than I've ever received ever when performing.
Sounds like that.
Just want to throw this out there again. This is kind of in celebration of the film's 75th anniversary of The Wizard of Oz. Friday and Saturday nights. This is May 2nd, 3rd, 9th, and 10th. These performances are 8 p.m. And then the Sunday matinees, May 4th and 11th at 3 p.m. You want tickets, 508-427-1234. And also, you can go online to order tickets at massasoit.mass.edu. Ladies, I think we're almost out of time here. 3 minutes.
3 minutes left.
My director's telling me anything that we have not touched upon that we want to make sure that we say before we say goodbye to the folks at home.
You are going to get the movie and not the movie. I think that's very important. When
There's going to be some there's things that maybe folks may not have seen in the movie, but
yes, there are things from the book that we've incorporated. There are things from the movie that were cut, like the jitterbug, and the second Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So I actually get to sing more, which is nice. But I think the most iconic part is the color change. And not a lot of community theaters are capable of doing that, and we do it.
We're totally doing it.
We're totally doing it. So, and it's going to be absolutely phenomenal.
anything you want to add?
For me, it's all of those things that you remember about The Wizard of Oz that you held very close to your heart from both the movie and the book. We wanted to bring those back to people because adults remember the flying monkeys being terrifying and the witch being terrifying and just loving Dorothy. So we're bringing that back to them.
And
the witch.
And let's not forget, actually,
yes.
the witch. Can we tease that the witch is not who she actually should be?
Of course we can.
Yeah, we can totally.
She is who she is.
She is who she is.
No, but who's been cast?
The witch is being played by a young, brilliant actor, might I add. His name is James Valentin, and he's superb. He's terrifying, and he embodies the original sort of Wicked Witch of the West quality. And you think he's a woman. There's no crossover there. You're convinced until you look in the program and you're like, oh my gosh. So you're going to be blown away with him.
Julie, anything in closing?
I promise if you come to see the show, I won't make that face. But you won't be disappointed either.
Nor
It's a
will I.
fabulous, fabulous production. I'm a proud girl to be on it. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
That's all the time that we have here, but ladies, I want to thank you for coming in.
Thanks for
talking
having
about
us.
Welcome. Thank
Break the leg, that's what you say traditionally to the folks who are in theater. I hope it goes off with a bang and then some. Folks, get out, get tickets. Check this out, 508-427-1234 or massasoit.mass.edu. That's another CrossTalk. Have a great day.